Hey writers, I have session 3, writing small about big topics. So before I get into the lesson, I wanted to give you a quick reminder about the writing process. I want you to remember that you are the author. You get to decide the process or the path you take in the writing process. It's not a circle that you go from a beginning to an end. You jump around, and we usually stick and collect, rehearse, draft, or revise. So as we learn new strategies and techniques, you choose whether you go back to collecting or revising or start a new entry in your journal. So this also means that you may have a ton of entries. Some of those entries are just little snippets of a moment, and some of those are full beginning, middle, end stories. That's fine. These entries are going to evolve over this unit and eventually become your final memoir. So do not sweat about what the final product is going to look like yet. We will get you there eventually. Right now, just enjoy the memories. Okay, speaking of the memories, you've created some amazing lists. And if you need to, if you're struggling to find more ideas, you don't feel like you have enough, go read some of your classmates' ideas. You can see their responses, or you can go see my examples that I keep posting on Padlet. And so in looking at your lists that you created, your Costello memories, did you notice that a lot of those are really big watermelon topics, like Camp Machendo or the Costello Fair or field trips? There's probably like a million stories in each of those 3 topics, wouldn't you say? So today I want to teach you that the bigger the meaning, the smaller you write. And that's from a poet named Richard Price. So I'm about to show you an example. This is from a newspaper sports columnist, and he wrote a memory of when his mom invented some games to entertain him while he was in the hospital waiting room. Now, I want you to notice how the author starts writing about memories, but then it shifts to writing about ideas, life lessons. It's like he's interpreting life just like you interpret books. So right now would be a great time to pause this video and read this example for yourself before I show you some details about it. Okay, now that you've had a moment to read this short memory, did you notice that he starts off with a couple of small moments? And then at the end, there's this big, huge idea that sees the day, take charge, do whatever it is you've been wanting to do. Don't wait. Life is precious. And so he used those small moments to write about this really big idea. I decided to try this out as well. So remember I showed you my my list of generated ideas, and then I reread my list and made that sticky note that had all the different kind of topics I was noticing repeated in my list. Well, I decided to choose one of those big ideas, pride. And then again, I reread my list, looking for moments that made me think of pride or made me feel proud or was related to pride. It was just a small moment that fits in that big giant category of pride. And you can see them here with little P's. Okay, and the next thing I did, and you can see it there. And the next thing I did is I wrote about those stories. I started a brand new page with that big idea right at the top, and I wrote small, archery. You can read these on, you can pause this and read my examples if you want, or read them on Padlet. But then I wrote about archery. This is not a full-blown memoir. This is just a little moment related to the big idea of pride. Amps and reps. I wrote about it, and then I drew a line, and I wrote a different story. Fishing, Fishing is a really small little snippet. That's fine. That's something I'm going to come back and rebuild or grow bigger later. All this work here is going to grow. I will raise the level of my writing later. Right now, I just got it on paper. Remember that the bigger the meaning, the smaller you write. So did you notice, or are you noticing that when writers want to share big ideas with their reader, it's often effective to do that by writing small stories, plural stories. So here's what you can do today. You can research more. If you have been writing small, ask yourself, what's the big theme or issue here? And if you've been writing big theme or big issues, just pause and think about what are some small stories that fit inside that big theme. And remember, you know so many strategies for generating ideas, and I left those charts up here for you, and again, they're on Padlet. And you know that writers can begin with either one of these. You can start with a really big idea like I did, or you can start with a small idea, as long as you are writing toward the other. And if you struggle to find the big ideas, I dropped this big chart here in here for you. It's on Padlet also to help you get through to doing that. And the whole time you're doing this, ask yourself, what is your Costello moment really about? That'll help you with some big ideas as well. Don't forget, you have all these resources you've seen in these slides and more on Padlet. Happy writing, fifth graders.